policy advisor, community advocate, and small business owner with you. And my ideas to enhance public safety, strengthen our economy, and promote a clean, healthy island. I humbly ask for your vote for strong families and a strong Guam.
Viva Regime!
Create new jobs and business opportunities. Continue shaping a smaller and more efficient government. Bring the highest honor and respect to our veterans. Protect life. These are some of the most important tenets of the Republican Party of Guam, and you will see these values in action with a new Republican majority in the legislature and a Republican in Congress. It's time to change the voice. For the good of the people, it's time to vote Republican.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
The president of the Philippines ramps up his anti-American rhetoric.
And a man fights for his life after being hit by a car in Harmon.
And down in Talafofo, no one seems to know who this boat belongs to. Could it have been used for alien smuggling? We bring you the details next. Hapaday, everybody, and good evening. Alongside Sabrina Salas Matanani, I'm Jason Salas. And concern is growing over Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte's new call to cut ties with the United States. The president says not only was it time to separate from Washington, but also to boost ties with Beijing. Nestor Lacanto reports.
Duterte made the pronouncement during a state visit Thursday to China, telling a group of businessmen that it was time for a military and economic separation from the U.S. The Philippine and Chinese government signed a series of agreements aimed at boosting relations that have been strained by a long-standing dispute over boundary rights along the South China Sea. The visit to China comes as Duterte continues his feud with Washington officials for calling him out on human rights violations in a war on drugs where thousands of alleged drug users and dealers have been killed.
Instead of helping us, ang unang tumira itong State Department. So, you can go to hell. Mr. Obama, you can go to hell. EU, better choose purgatory. Puno na sa impyerno. Bakit ako matakot sa inyo?
The Philippines is a former U.S. colony that, even after independence, has remained a staunch military ally. Like Guam, it is an important part of the American strategic military pivot to Asia. In a statement, Congresswoman Madeline Bordello called the comments unfortunate and that they seem contrary to public opinion. She notes that the Philippines is one of America's strongest allies in the region, and she will work with the Obama administration and the Philippine caucus in Congress to ensure they can maintain a strong and robust U.S.-Philippine economic and security alliance. Duterte has also reportedly suggested imposing travel restrictions on Americans, similar to how he says the U.S. keeps a tight lid on Filipino travel visas. This, despite a Filipino-American population in the U.S. of more than 3.5 million. Philippine Consul General of Guam, Marciano de Borja, declined comment pending official guidance from Manila. He said as far as the consulate is concerned, the travel policy remains status quo and visas for Americans are not required for stays of less than 60 days. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lacanto.
One man is behind bars while another fights for his life after a serious auto pet incident in Harmon late Thursday night. 23-year-old Elvin Fuenilas Manoloto was operating a 2014 Nissan Sentra when he allegedly struck a pedestrian standing in the middle lane. Manoloto was arrested for DUI. Police spokesperson Captain Kim Santos confirms the victim remains in critical condition at GMH and will be cited for jaywalking.
One woman allegedly collected thousands of dollars in recruitment bonuses she was not entitled to. Federal court findings state that Guam Army National Guard Sergeant Charlene C. Camacho stands accused of claiming over $21,000 for at least 11 potential soldiers. When the recruits were interviewed as part of the investigation into Camacho, they stated they had never met with her, nor did they provide her with their personal information.
A former Department of Revenue and Taxation alcohol beverage control compliance officer will spend 4 months in jail. Gerald Solis was one of 10 individuals, most of whom were public officials, including customs officers, involved in taking over $37,000 in bribes and kickbacks from private business persons in exchange for favorable action. Their convictions follow a 4-year undercover operation.
Well, he penned a compelling 7-page letter to the chief judge just days before his sentencing, and appears it worked. John Paul Talavera Marquez was sentenced a lenient 5 years for smuggling close to 30 grams of crystal meth through his rectal cavity. Marquez faced over 15 years considering his criminal history, which includes a pair of aggravated assaults and his recent drug conviction.
The woman accused of scamming a handful of residents into buying airline tickets from her will likely face a jury at the end of the month. Frances Marie Menglotnya Kinata first made headlines for allegedly scamming a Guam girls softball team, but she was never charged in that case. Shortly after, however, other alleged victims surfaced and she was indicted on 5 counts of theft by deception. Kanata appeared in court Thursday, where parties indicated witnesses will be available in time for the trial date scheduled for the 31st. It's a case of a mysterious boat. Staff from Jeff Pirates Cove pulled this boat to shore early Friday morning. According to Lieutenant Mark Uggan, the case has been forwarded to Guam Customs Maritime Interdiction Task Force, the Guam Police Department, and the Coast Guard, as it may be related to the smuggling of illegal aliens. The boat doesn't appear to be registered locally and didn't have any fishing gear. Meanwhile, Coast Guard Sector Guam Assistant Public Affairs Officer Lieutenant Nestor Lazarivas says the incident is being treated as a derelict vessel because there have been no reports at this time of any missing vessels or individuals.
Elsewhere on island, the USS Emery S. Land held its first chain of command ceremony since being home ported on Guam this morning. Captain Douglas Bradley relieved Captain Mark Procopius, who had been commander for the submarine tender for more than 14 months.
57 is what we had when we started out. Young men and women, to now what we have is nearly 400 in the repair department. And we just executed a 511 job continuous maintenance availability on USS Ohio, a forward deployed SSGN, the largest maintenance availability that had ever been performed on a forward deployed submarine. You know, you guys just have been fantastic.
Captain Procopius will now be reporting to Submarine Force Atlantic. In his stead, Captain Bradley said he will continue to ensure the USS Emery S. Land continues to keep the nation's submarine force ready to fight and win anywhere in the world.
It is what everyone wants to know. Why was Superintendent John Fernandez fired? And while the bill of particulars outlining this reason is supposed to be confidential, as Issa Vaz reports, some of its contents have already been leaked, and not just to the media.
While the public doesn't yet know why Superintendent John Fernandez was fired, the decision was made following a Title IX internal investigation into a sexual harassment allegation made against him by a student. But the investigation uncovered much more. As we reported this week, attorney Gary Gumatautau revealed that there was another sexual harassment complaint against Fernandez by a teacher. So she filed a sexual harassment complaint against John Fernandez around 2013. Was she fired?
Yes.
However, the incident took place several years ago. According to Gumatautau, it was one of the 5 Title IX violations listed as reasons for Fernandez's termination. Are you saying 5 different cases that all involve John Fernandez?
Well, they involved GDOE during his tenure.
Okay.
So who's responsible when there's a problem on a ship? The captain.
Gumatautau mentions an $80,000 settlement with the EEOC. We reported this story in September that DOE settled a charge of disability discrimination for assigning an employee with multiple disabilities traffic duty, despite doctor's orders. Senator Narissa Underwood said she finds recent developments disturbing. And although she hasn't seen a copy of the report or bill of particulars herself, someone did try to leak the bill to her via email.
And so what I immediately did was I sent it back to the sender with a copy to the attorney, Frank Gumatauta, to let them know that I received this and it's inappropriate for them to send it to me.
She said Gumatauta also offered to give her a copy, but she refused.
The only one that really should be examining those reports are the Board of Education members and also their attorneys and Mr. Fernandez.
Senator Underwood adds, despite public concern and what appears to be leaked documents, she will not be holding an oversight hearing until the public hearing that is supposed to be held comes to fruition. Senator Underwood adds that despite public concern and what appears to be leaked documents, she will not be holding an oversight hearing until the public hearing that's supposed to be held comes to fruition. Adelup has been arguing that the entire ordeal involves politics as a result of speculation that Fernandez could be a contender in the 2018 gubernatorial elections. The governor's chief policy advisor, Troy Torres, this week told KUAM the investigation report was leaked by Bernadette Meno. Gumatauta confirmed she did work on the report. Meno is a former journalist, worked for former Governor Felix Camacho, campaigned for Gumatauta in 2014 when he ran for lieutenant governor with former Governor Carl Gutierrez. She also has a pending case before the Civil Service Commission related to her termination from the Port Authority several years ago and is currently employed part-time by Senator Frank Blodz Jr.
Let's face it, this was a whole politically hatched, politically botched event against John Fernandez.
Meanwhile, just today, Adelup said the Education Board never brought up any concerns about Title IX violations when the governor signed Fernandez's contract back in March. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
All right, everybody, we got a commercial break coming up. But before we get to that, you may have noticed that Sabrina and I, as well as all of our colleagues here on Team KUAM, are wearing pink, and we've done this all day long to show our support in the fight against breast cancer. Now, we have a special poster that you can go on to the KUAM News mobile app or KUAM.com right now. Just go to our promotion section. You can download it, customize it, and then share it and show who you are thinking pink for.
Also, when you post it on social media, make sure to use the hashtag ThinkPinkGuam. Stay tuned. We're back with more news after this.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Have you gotten paid yet? That's the premium automatic insurance deduction plan from Calvo's Insurance. Paid simplifies your home and auto insurance. No down payment, no more long lines, and you can stretch your payments up to 12 months. Paid is convenient. It deducts from your payroll, your checking account, or your credit card. With Paid, you get up to 65% off your car insurance and enjoy lifestyle club discounts. Life can be easier when you get paid.
Call Calvo's Insurance today and save on your home and auto insurance.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
I have the one just for you.
We're increasing the amount of 4G LTE data on our new rate plans, giving people more of what they want to do more of the things they want.
So what do you think?
Nice.
Is your old ride letting you down? Then play Micronesia Mall's Ride Away Flyaway game and win 3 rides from Triple J Auto Group, plus 30 flyaways to Manila on Philippine Airlines. Just present mall receipts to enter and win the 2017 Kia Soul, the 2017 Mazda 3 Sport, the 2017 Kia Forte, and instant prizes from Burger King and Foot Locker. Shop and win more cars, trips, and prizes when you play Micronesia Mall's Ride Away Flyaway game.
Go, go for the Coco! Register for the Guam Coco Road Races. The all-new Coco Road Race is bigger and better than ever, so join the Coco and start training today. We've added a 10K run walk to the half marathon and Ekiden Relay, running costume and win cash prizes. Plus, enjoy live entertainment at the post-race Monster Bash after the races. Register online now for the Guam Coco Road Races at guamcocoroadrace.com.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes, from caring for our land through the Adaki Itano program to generously supporting our local charity, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Sidus Maasi, Matson.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Welcome back to Primetime right here on KUAM. It may have been months since the end of the Festival of the Pacific Arts, but it now appears that financial issues still have to be addressed before the books are officially closed. Ken Quintaniza explains in this next report.
First of all, I have all the respect in the world for Judy Flores, and I totally understand she's just advocating for the artist. We worked together very well when she was a GBB board member. But, quite frankly, that's why I was kind of surprised to see this letter, which is really not reflective of the current situation.
It's a situation Festival Pacific Arts chairperson and Guam Visitors Bureau president and CEO Nathan DeKnight says is much different than what was outlined in a letter from KAHA chairperson Judy Flores. This week, she wrote on behalf of artists over thousands of dollars in reimbursements that haven't been paid.
The letter makes it sound like nothing has been paid out, but quite frankly, we've paid out over $350,000 of disbursements to the artists.
DeKnight says he already spoke with Flores along with Chamorro Affairs Director Johnny Sablon on the letter, adding there's been meetings with KAHA staff about the processing of payments over the past 6 months. He says most of the payment requests noted in the letter will actually be paid out next week, with the exception of the traditional arts request, which totals over $54,000.
There's also some payments in here that she mentioned, which is kind of confusing to me because they were taken back by KAHA because it either lacked supporting documentation or it didn't follow the correct process.
And while the letter notes many of these payment requests were not only submitted repeatedly, but over several months ago, DeKnight says some of them were actually submitted late by KAHA as recent as last week.
The last thing I wanted to point out is we're really pushing to close out the FestPac finances. And actually KAHA is one of the areas that's kind of holding us back from doing that because, like I said, we're still receiving payment requests and trying to close out some of these things.
Along with KAHA, DeKnight says there was also some requests from the Department of Education that were not budgeted for that need to be resolved. This all falls in line with finishing a closeout report for FestPac, one that the Office of Public Accountability waits for before it starts its post-audit review.
But as far as the post-audit, yeah, I feel confident. We've been really dotting our I's and crossing the T's, and maybe that's caused some of the frustration with the artists is they're not used to dealing with government procurement and kind of how stringent it is. But I'm confident.
And while he plans to meet with Flores next week, DeKnight also hopes to have a FestPac organizing committee meeting early next month. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
The Guam Memorial Hospital's vendor payables are in better financial shape thanks to a government bailout provided to the hospital earlier this year. GMH Chief Financial Officer Benita Menglotnia reported this to the Board of Trustees last night.
All right, and we paid off the retirement and income tax withholding that were delinquent. As a result of the paying off the retirement, we lost some nurses because some staff retired. They were waiting for us to pay that. And we have paid also our vendors, so I think they're happy campers now. I think there's a lot of them that want to do business with GMH.
Menglotnia says GMH has also maintained consistent revenue. However, because the hospital is receiving a funding level of $117 million lower than expected, it will have to scale back on expenditures this fiscal year.
Well, following a meeting that took place earlier this month, the Municipal Planning Council for Tumon and Harmon passed a resolution in which they expressed concern over a pair of bills regarding Oka Point. Bill 374 would use up to 8 acres of land at Oka Point for a Chamorro shrine for at least 2,000 ancestral remains that have been found. Meanwhile, Bill 375 authorizes a legislative lease for a cultural center. While the council supports the intent, they cannot support both bills until a feasibility study and comprehensive master plan has been completed. As part of the concern, the council writes, without this plan, both bills would result in a, quote, hodgepodge of development in the area and may prohibit a development that may be of better use to the people of Guam, end quote. The council also notes these bills were drafted without any input or participation from itself and residents of Tamuning. Land Management Director Michael Borja raised similar concerns, saying the Chamorro Land Trust Commission was not consulted and he did not believe it was the best use of the property.
With 19 days remaining, or 18 days remaining until the general election, the GEC reminds voters that there are several other races up for a vote on November 8th. Along with the senatorial, mayoral, and congressional races, voters can also vote for the Consolidated Commission on Utilities and the Guam Education Board. Executive Director Maria Pangilinan, however, says the race for GEB will be a little different, and she explains why.
There is an election for 6 members, and we only have 6 candidates on the ballot. Please know that the law does not permit a space for write-in, and it may be, the intent of the law may be to eliminate the possibility of write-ins that in the past there may have not been enough candidates, and the write-ins garnered 1 or 2 votes, and they still became part of the Guam Education Board. No.
5 of the 6 running are incumbents of the GEB. In the meantime, voters will also have a chance to vote for judicial retention of Judge Vernon Perez, along with the straw poll for President of the United States. Pangilinan says since 1984, Guam has predicted the winner of the presidential election.
In education news, principals are the leaders who nurture, sustain, and advocate for the success of all students. And today, dozens of Guam's principals were recognized in celebration of National Principals Month. Public Education Oversight Chairwoman Senator Narissa Underwood presented a special legislative resolution during a luncheon at the Fiesta Resort. Senators are recognizing our school leaders for their daily commitment to providing a safe and healthy learning environment for local students and the Department of Education.
It is one of the major causes of non-communicable diseases, and today Public Health joined Acting Governor Ray Tenorio in proclaiming October 21st as Guam No Tobacco Day. As part of the proclamation, the community is encouraged to work together to protect our island from the devastating health consequences of tobacco. This year's theme is Get Ready for Plain Packaging, as part of a comprehensive approach to tobacco control. According to the World Health Organization, plain packaging makes tobacco products less attractive to consumers and limits misleading labeling.
Well, this morning, our friends at Docomo Pacific launched their biggest service offer of the year 2016 with the MyShare plans, allowing users to share large buckets of mobile data with unlimited local voice calls and SMS, also sharing mobile data in real time with just the swipe of a button, and replacing broken devices up to twice a year at a low cost of just $150.
And on top of announcing those groundbreaking services, local telecom companies unveiled the long-awaited iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. Now, the new phone introduces new advanced camera systems, better battery life performance. It also boasts new immersive stereo speakers. That sounds really cool. And it is splash and water resistant.
Okay, I gotta apologize to my partner here. There's like salivating, gross stuff like all over the news desk right there. Yeah, iPhone 7. I've kind of been waiting for that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, Sports Tonight.
This is what we do on Guam's best network. We're the filter killers, likers and shares, the bingers and Netflix chillers, tweeters and hashtaggers. GTA has improved their 4G LTE network, covering 95% of the island, delivering faster data speeds, strength and quality, and more reliability than ever. It's just what you need. So switch to GTA and step up to a better network, a strong network that lets you do what you do. GTA, better LTE than ever.
Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be, you know that there are. You can do what you want. The opportunities are. You can make it all true. And you can make it undo. You see. You only need to know. And if you want to be me, be me. And if you want to be you, be you. 'Cause there's a million things to do. You know that there are, you know that there are.
It's Chucktober at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Get a treat bag when you wear your costume to come play. Medium cheese pizzas are just $12, Mommy Dogs are $3.99, and cotton candy is $1.99. Sign up for the costume contest on the 29th and enjoy Chucktober at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
This is what precision feels like. Magnetic ride control actively monitors road conditions 1,000 times per second to deliver a comfortable ride.
1,000 times, huh? Yep, per second. How about that?
This is the new, meticulously crafted 2016 Sierra Denali from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Or get nearly $7,300 total value on select specially equipped 2016 Sierra Crew Cab SLT vehicles in stock. Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Today, Guam, Chris Barnett with sports on this Think Pink Friday. Woohoo! Proudly brought to you by Triple J. And let's kick it off with our Del Rentone Athlete of the Week. Today here at Del Rentone and Ganya for Athlete of the Week presentation at Del Rentone, where we remind you lowest prices guaranteed, lower than your lowrider. And our Athlete of the Week this week, my man Chris. Chris, congratulations.
Thank you. The Guam Special Olympics best mothers, part all the events, the bowling, track and field, swimming.
And you know, Chris, Special Olympic athlete here, and he normally does bowling and stuff, but he broke out of his comfort zone to conquer trench mutter with us. And so, man, that was a real honor to run with the Special Olympics. And we've actually got 3 Chris's here today. Chris, and my man Chris from Del Rentone with a special message for you, Chris.
Congratulations, Chris, on being Dallas Athlete of the Week. Who would you like to donate this check to?
Guam Special Olympics.
Well, there you go, man. And Chris, you know, trench mutter, he killed that course, and he would have finished a lot faster if he didn't have to wait for us, KUAM team.
Yeah, thank you, everything, your question mother. And Guam Special Olympics.
My man Rico, Rico killed it too, right?
Yeah, Rico and
Quinn,
Christian. By the Guam Special Olympic, Jacob.
There you go. Yeah. So, hey, man, you know, Special Olympics always doing great things in the community. And like I said, Team KUAM, we were honored to pair up with them. And, man, we all crossed that finish line together. You watch out for that coming up on The Good Life. And remember, we're here at Del Rentone. Lowest prices guaranteed. Once again, Chris, I know we got to do that Hulk Hogan. You ready? 1, 2, 3. What you know about Hulk Hogan, man? So you come through here, Chris, with Del Rentone. Lowest prices guaranteed for Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by
Costume Koku Crazies coming out for the Koku Road Race Wave yesterday at the ITC intersection. With registration ending on October 25th, now is the time to sign up for this fun costume run. On the 29th, the Koku Road Race Ekiden Relay, 10K Run Walk, and Half Marathon plus fun costume contests go down. And don't forget the kids' Koku Saturday, 28th. Of course, our very own Coco Crazies, Issa Baza, Crystal Paco of the KUAM News Team, victorious from I-94, and yours truly will be competing in the Ekiden Relay. So we'll see you on race day. Juwan King transitioning into college football life far away from home. And he says it's been pretty smooth as KUAM Sports caught up with him by way of telephone. Juwan has 5 games under his belt playing quarterback for the JV team at North Park University in Chicago. King has 3 passing TDs and 1 rushing touchdown to go along with 100 yards rushing for the Vikings this season. There are about 20 other Pacific Islanders attending the university, which has helped Juwan fit in.
It made the transition a lot more friendly, just like having people who look like me, who come from like our cultures are basically the same, and we call each other brothers because we truly are. We're brothers from the Pacific, whether Polynesian, Micronesian, Melanesian, we're still brothers of the Pacific. So we always have each other's back and still have that sense of brotherhood that we bring back from the islands.
All right, hey, let's head down to Tumon. Hit our retros and get down to our sports director, Dave Delgado, who's at TGI Fridays on this Friday for Game Day Grub.
Game Day Grub is brought to you by TGI Fridays.
All right, thanks, Chris. Dave Delgado here at TGI Fridays for Game Day Grub. No Jay Cutler for the Bears. Brian Hoyer still under center. Now, the Packers, a lot of people banged up, but you still got Aaron Rodgers. Let's take a look at highlights from today's game. Brian Hoyer went down with a fractured arm, turning the job over to Matt Barkley, who threw 2 interceptions on 6 of 15 passing for 81 yards. Bears got into the end zone courtesy of their defense, who brought the pressure early in the third quarter. Aaron Rodgers losing the ball here. Ball rolls into the end zone, recovered by Leonard Floyd for 6. Rodgers sacked twice today. Big game by Randall Cobb, 95 yards on 11 receptions with this touchdown. Cobb also carried the ball 5 times for 21 yards as the Packers went on to win 26-10. Aaron Rodgers, 326 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. Don't forget to catch Andy Wheeler down here at TGI Fridays every Monday and Friday for some football. Chris, back to you.
All right, a reason to look forward to Monday football. KUAM TV 11, 3 in the morning, the NFL on CBS. Oaktown Raiders at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then 6:25, KUAM TV 11. Let's stick with the NFL on CBS. Andy Wheeler's New England Patriots at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then 10:20 in the morning, Sunday Night Football. Let's put it over on KUAM TV 8. The Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. All right, my name's Chris Barnett. Thanks for watching. Remember, KUAM Sports proudly brought to you by Triple J. You guys have a great weekend and keep on shining, Guam. Adios!
Times are always changing, and I wonder what tomorrow will look like. I hope I can leave good things behind. I hope I can be a golden memory, a lesson in strength, a warm touch in all of the coldness. If I could leave just a little bit of light, maybe all our laughter won't fade. But hopefully, the embrace I leave for you is tight enough to keep you together.
Q50 holding short runway 19er right. Q50, do you copy? 227, runway 19er right. Roger that. Q50, clear for takeoff? Clear for takeoff.
The 2016 Q50 from Infinity.
I am Narissa Underwood. As a mother, a grandmother, an educator, and your friend, I understand the difficulties of raising a family and helping others in difficult times. I understand the frustration of seeing government choosing the wrong priorities while you are forced to make tough choices. I know the disappointment of seeing your pay stay flat while top officials raise theirs. But most of all, I know the feeling of seeing our schools and our children get shortchanged. I will make sure our schools are safe and exciting places to learn. And I will not allow our children to owe money into the future for decisions our officials make today. My commitment comes from experiences that we share, and my courage comes from the eyes of our children.
Courage and commitment. Paid for by the committee to elect NBU, Ricardo Bordalio, Treasurer.
This is Narissa Underwood, and I approve this ad.
It's back and bigger than ever. The big deal is going on now at Triple J. Scratch and win with every vehicle purchase for instant cash up to $1,000, free tint, Kmart gift certificates, and more. Plus, save big with these deals like the Ford F-150 at only $165 per paycheck or the Mazda 3 at only $110 per paycheck. Triple J's biggest promotion of the year is going on now. Stop by today or visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Trade-ins welcome. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J, customers first.
All right, boys and girls, here is what your island weather looks like. Isolated showers await you outside with partly cloudy skies with a low evening temperature of 79 degrees. Winds are coming from the east at about 6 miles per hour on Saturday. Once you are fully immersed in your island weekend, we've got isolated showers once more with mostly sunny skies in the afternoon. Highs near 90 in the afternoon and a low temperature if you're going to the Tumon night market of about 79 degrees. Now, Bree, this doesn't actually show up on the weather graphic we have here, but on the KUAM News mobile app, remember, we're on tablets, phones, and Apple TV. The moon phase is waning gibbous. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds really, really cool. If you're a weather geek, you're probably jazzed right now.
You can Google it after.
Yeah, waning gibbous.
Well, it is Feel Good Friday around KUAM, and we are so happy to share this next story. We should warn you, however, to grab some tissue because there's been quite a few tears already shed in the newsroom, including from Jason. After a 4-month deployment to Qatar, Alaska Air Guard Staff Sergeant James Roberto made a surprise visit to his daughters, Lexi and Haley, while they were at school. His wife, Aisha, tells KUAM that it's so great to have him home, and we are so blessed he was kept safe while he was away. The Mangilaw couple also has an 8-month-old son, Amias James.
And you can watch that video over and over and over. We've got it on YouTube. We've got it on Twitter. We got it on our Facebook page. It's on our Snapchat account. That thing's been seen, tens of thousands of times already, and people love it. And we have another special welcome home. This time, this one goes to Amber Matanonia, a hospital corpsman who just returned home from a 6-month deployment to Kandahar in Afghanistan. Now, she surprised her 2 beautiful little girls, and Leah May and Araya, on Thursday. From all of us here at KUAM, to everybody, thank you, Amber. Thanks, James, for all of your service.
All right, now before we close out the news, here is your latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday going out to Bonnie from Grandma Debbie, Grandma Bertha, Ann, and family.
Happy 10th birthday to Jonathan. This comes from Mom, Dad, Damien, Araya, Drayden, and your entire Guam family.
Oh, happy 95th birthday to Maria Gumatao from Santa Rita. Love your family.
Rico Nedlick. Your family says, we love you, Rico. Sometimes that's all it takes, and that is awesome.
Happy birthday to Lori Q. Sablon with love from the family.
It's also a birthday today for Jeanette S. Campus, and this comes from your families, plural.
Families.
Nice.
Happy birthday to Roman Jr. Paris with love from, again, the families.
All right, and a very happy birthday to one of our own here,
hey!
Cameraman extraordinaire and a editor whiz. There he is on the screen. He's actually behind the camera right now.
Jacob.
Yeah, recording us.
Come over here, Jacob.
Not watching YouTube for once.
He said he's good.
So Jacob Sablon. Happy birthday, Jake.
And happy belated birthday to Matilde Villoria from the family.
All right, you too can be a member of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, which includes members of the KUAM team. However, we, because of conflict of interest, can't win a cake. So sorry, Jake.
Sorry.
However, one of you out there is going to come away with a yummy Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake, and that person is
Ethan Allen Babalta. His birthday was on Sunday, the 16th. So congratulations.
All right.
Someone from Cold Stone will be contacting you and letting you know how you can pick up your cake.
It's always a fun time when we give away cake, so enjoy. We hope you and your family have a great time, and we hope you stay tuned because Extra is up next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
You're watching Fiesta Friday right here on KUAM TV or on YouTube, and we thank you whichever medium you're consuming us in. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jason Salas. We start the show with news about a Halloween event coming up from our friends in the military, and who better to break down the mechanics of this event than our good friend Major Josephine Blas. Major, soon to be Colonel, I would hope.
Hopefully sometime soon.
And we'll do a big story on you when you make Colonel, because we'll be so proud
That will
of
be
you.
a big story.
Well, to show how committed you are, and like how much you work and everything like that, you do a variety of stories talking about how the Guard, our commitment to our nation and our island, but also for goodwill events like this one.
Absolutely. This weekend, Saturday, in fact, tomorrow, we're having our annual Halloween event. It's called our Trunk or Treat. And this year is actually the first year we're going to open it up to all ID card holders on Guam. And here on Guam, almost everybody knows somebody that has an ID card. So if you can get with somebody that has an ID card, we welcome you to come to our Trunk or Treat event tomorrow.
They're like, dude, get me on base.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I heard the rice is cheap.
Right.
Yeah. But now you can actually do something to help the community.
Absolutely. So, everything is going to be right there within our Readiness Center in Barrigada. So it's going to be safe because they're not going to have to be crossing streets. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun because it's all put together by our family readiness groups.
And so what can people expect to see?
Well, first of all, if they want to compete in a Halloween costume, the Halloween costume contest for the kids is open to all children, ages infant to 18 years old.
Nice.
So there's 6 age categories, and they can come and compete for scariest, cutest, or most original. So there'll be a lot of prizes available. Other than that, all the units are putting together their trunks. They're decorating their trunks, and we're competing. It's almost like, we do our annual General's Cup sports event. So this year it's not, this time it's not sports, but it's trunks and costumes for the service members. So it's going to be a fun competition.
Now, when we say trunks, just so like us civilians and everything understand exactly what that term means, like how do you
they're
define that?
privately owned vehicles, because I think last year they were using all kinds of stuff, but this year they've said only privately owned vehicles, and you back it into a space and you open up the trunk and you decorate it, and then it'll be almost like going house to house, but you'll be going trunk to trunk to go trick-or-treating.
It's like an automotive diorama.
Something like that.
Yeah, you can make like a whole scene, or you can.
And you'd be surprised what these guys come up with. So it's going to be, all the units are going to be competing for points in our General's Cup event.
Now, I went to public school on Guam, and we've been decorating trunks back since way back when. That's an art form into itself.
We've actually been, doing it for 5 or 6 years, but this is the first time we're opening it up to other ID card holders.
Now, I must ask you, Major, is it going to be kind of interesting to see when you have, all these kids running around in costume and, showing off, their art and what they put together on a place where everybody's dressed up in uniform anyway?
Yes, it's going to be a whole lot of fun because we don't have to wear this tomorrow.
Oh, very nice. You can wear civvies.
We're going to wear civvies, and
very
hopefully
nice.
everybody's going to come in some kind of costume. But besides that, we have a haunted house put together by one of our units, and then our CST did the haunted house last year, but this year they're doing what's called the zombie apocalypse.
Okay,
And
and that's
so-
civil support team, right?
Civil support
And those
team.
guys are known to be able to build stuff.
Last year they did an incredible job for the haunted house, but this year they're doing the zombie apocalypse. And what it is the kids go in there and they get outfitted with a Nerf gun and a whole lot of Nerf bullets, and they're going to have war with our zombies.
They're going to attack the undead?
They're going to attack the zombies. So
That
it's going to
sounds
be
like
a lot of fun.
Okay.
And then in between that, we're going to have jumpers and rides for the kids, and game booths, and a lot of food booths. And everything is going to be nominal donations to each of our family readiness groups, so they can make money to do what they do best, is support our families when our service members are either deployed or in training.
Okay, so you said anybody with a card can apply to get in.
Anybody with a card can come in.
Okay, can card holders sponsor other
Absolutely,
people? Okay.
absolutely. As long as they're sponsored and they take care of those that they bring in, they're welcome to come in.
Oh, I've been to a couple of those when I was a kid, and it's a fantastic.
It's going to be a great event, and because it's all within the Readiness Center, it's safe and fun environment.
Okay, so we've talked about it's going to be by donation only. If you have you're sponsored by someone, you can get in. Can you bring food and drink from the outside?
Well, we don't encourage it because our family readiness groups are having food booths, and that's how they make their money to support our families throughout the year, all the different events that
Hi, I'm Marlon. I'm a college student, a DJ, and a coordinator for Special Olympics. I have many abilities, but because I come with my own wheels, people often see just a disability. We have an opportunity for real representation in the legislature. His name is Ben Santos Servino. Ben has been developing systems of care for most of his life. He will make a difference.
Vote Ben Servino for Senator.
Why don't you train for the Coco's Kids race, bro? Shoo, not even fair, bro. I'll just win that. Boom!
Calling all parents. Sign your kiddos up for this costume run October 29th. Register now at GuamCocoRoadRace.com.
Create new jobs and business opportunities. Continue shaping a smaller and more efficient government. Bring the highest honor and respect to our veterans. Protect life. These are some of the most important tenets of the Republican Party of Guam, and you will see these values in action with Republican mayors in every village and a Republican in Congress. It's time to change the voice. For the good of the people, it's time to vote Republican.
House to Home, brought to you by Remax Diamond Realty.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I have my dear friends Gina and Liz from Remax Diamond Realty Guam. Liz has the nicest bangs in all of Guam real estate, I must say.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah, and
It has to be in place when we do this show.
yeah, and Gina, you can see her smile on the real estate signs coming a mile away and everything like that. But that's not distracted driving, by the way.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, it's very, very
They're
nice.
focusing on the property.
Yeah, and well, the thing that both of you bring outside of extreme beauty to the real estate market is solid information. So let's continue our conversation.
We're not
ladies.
waiving the commission, Jace,
Yeah.
just so we get that straight.
Okay, for the record.
Yes,
Of
for the
course,
record.
This is on the internet. It's
Yes.
good for all time. Okay, so we're going to continue our discussion from last week about property rights. Last week we took it from a developer's perspective. This week, can we address it from the perspective of the
Yeah,
owner?
just individual owners who might be looking at developing their property. Liz and I were talking about, we've got a piece of property on Cross Island Road that we're thinking of developing. And we've been tossing the idea around about, okay, well, it is agricultural subdivision, but we might be interested in building something there and putting a mom and pop store. So what's the process? Because that's kind of what we talked about last week. Is there already a process for this? And there already is.
Now, you said there was because there might be public hearings, there might be some regulatory stuff you have to go through. You said necessarily the courts only get involved if the dispute gets
If there's a
out of hand.
dispute.
But is there a more, I want to say a more civil way where you don't have to involve like all of these agencies? Can you go around to the neighboring or adjacent property owners and just say, this is what I'd like to do. Do you have an issue with it?
So the zoning, if you're developing and you're developing within your zoning, what the zoning allows, you really don't need anybody's permission except to go get the necessary permits, right? But in the instance where I want to go beyond my zoning, I'm saying, listen, I know what my zoning is, but I want to build something that's outside of that scope. Not only do you have to go through all the agencies, and you have to go through every single agency and clear all of them, 7 agencies, but you also have to notify within a 500 feet radius all your neighbors. Hey guys, I'm going to build a mom and pop store on my lot. What do you think? And that's where the public hearings come into play, and people can come and say, well, you know what? That's what you want to do, but we're not going to let you do it. We disagree.
So
that's the process.
So what I was saying, if you actually tried to go around, and not to be sneaky or shady, but Liz, if I went around to the adjacent property owners and said, hey, these are my plans and everything like that, I could actually be causing more of a headache for myself.
No, not necessarily so. I mean, sometimes it's the neighborly thing to do to just say,
you're being
hey,
proactive.
You're being proactive, and you want to make sure you don't encounter any issues when you go through the permitting process. So if you don't have too many around you and you want to notify them and just say, hey, I'm going to do this, and they might turn around and say, yeah, we need a store. We don't want to go 5 miles down the road when I need a box of salt or something.
So it doesn't hurt to do that, just
It
informally.
doesn't hurt. It doesn't. And I think some of the issues crop up with neighbors when it's a huge development that has a bigger impact. But when you're talking about a small lot for a store or a single family home, normally that doesn't create too much of an impact unless that particular neighborhood is already encountering water shortages, water pressure issues. Then it's understandable that there'll be some complaints because there's not enough pressure to feed. In fact, the government does have a process or a procedure that if your PSI is lower than 45,
your water pressure.
Then your water pressure is low, then therefore either a booster pump or something is required. But there is a process and procedures to handle that.
Let me throw a worst case scenario at the both of you. So say I have property and there are 10 other property owners around my development, and I bring an idea to them. 5 of them are in favor with me, so we've got 6. 5 of them are against the idea. Does that mean by virtue of majority, if we were to go to like in a public hearing, then my idea would come to pass? Does it work that simple? Is it just?
I don't think it's necessarily that. I think when number one is, do you have the right to do it? Does your property conform with the zone? And if everything comes into place in terms of the permitting, I pay all the fees, I got all the government clearances, that has more weight, and versus my right to develop my property to create a certain project. So if everything's in place and it's a small scale, those are inconsequential. It's not going to impact the neighborhood. So I think that would have more weight. And if the government gives me all the permits, what's to prohibit me from doing my project? So, Gina, what did you think?
Well, plus I think the thing that people forget about, there was a piece of property that was developed in Barragata. It was a very small piece of property. And the landowner went to the government and said, I would like to build some townhomes on this lot. There weren't any protests at the public hearing, so he went from agricultural to R2. And in doing so, the government said, hey, listen, we're going to allow it. Nobody really protested. We're going to go ahead and allow it, but you need to upgrade the infrastructure in this area. This is what you need to do, ABC. So in order for him to actually do the development, he had agreed, I'll bring in the sewer line, I'll upgrade the water line. These things are a benefit to the neighborhood. So now the infrastructure is there. The government wouldn't have done it. The government doesn't do that.
So it actually sounds like this is the perception is it's a daunting problem, but it's actually quite easy to do. I mean, it's as easy as just having a neighborly conversation.
If it fits within the permitting process.
It's easy, but it's time consuming and it does cost money.
Costly.
Okay, well, tell you what, just to make sure that you don't make the wrong decision, you can call Liz and Gina at RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. They're the friendliest people with the best hair. I want to add that again. They're really, really good hair and really nice smile.
Just like Jason.
Just like Jason.
Hey, so give them a call and then they will set you straight. We're back after this.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
I have the one just for you.
We're increasing the amount of 4G LTE data on our new rate plans, giving people more of what they want to do more of the things they want.
So what do you think?
Nice.
Tourism, it's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports 20,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 3 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $150 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,100 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism. It's Chucktober at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Get a treat bag when you wear your costume to come play. Medium cheese pizzas are just $12, mommy dogs are $3.99, and cotton candy is $1.99. Sign up for the costume contest on the 29th and enjoy Chucktober at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm still Jason Salas, and the Madam International Ball is once again upon us, and I have two friends of mine, Ina and Jenny, and we are going to talk about what a wonderful event this is. Hello, ladies. Half a day.
Half a day. Hi, how are you?
So why don't we tell everybody what exactly is the Madam International Ball?
Madam International Ball is about about Asian countries, people gathering together to show up their culture, and they're dressed up with their nationalities.
Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful event. You really get to feel just how diverse this part of the world. Yeah,
to show your country of your dress up with their culture.
Yeah, Jenny, how many nations approximately do we have represented?
We have over 20 nations.
Very nice.
Yeah, the ladies will wear their country costume, and some will have some special design costume. And we also have a contest. There's 3 categories.
Yes.
You can the guests can vote for the most beautiful, most authentic, and most original.
Mm-hmm. And what do you have to do to be able to attend?
You just need to buy the ticket.
Very nice. It's that easy.
Very easy.
That's very easy. Okay.
And ticket, the price is very reasonable with the very good entertainment and also very nice international menu. And the venue is at the Hyatt. November 12th, start from 6:30, and the ticket is $60 per person. And you can buy the ticket at all the GNC store, one at the Micronesia Mall, one at the Pacific Place, and another one at the Hilton Hotel.
Very
and
nice.
also you can, everyone are welcome to contact any of our International Men's Club members.
Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to attend and you said like, I want to dress up in the culture and represent my people and everything like that, would I have to register with you guys, or just come as you are and just show off? And
You don't have to register. You can come as you are at that day.
Very nice.
And we give you the name, the numbers to participate. And this year,
and everybody is an entrance once you walk in.
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
Everyone.
And especially this year, we are coordinating with the Korea entertainments. So the entertainment opening and closing will be invited by Korea entertainments for the culture. So it will be very interesting for entertainments.
Oh, wonderful.
So hope you don't miss it.
Okay, well, let's talk about the food, Jenny, because you were just mentioning food and you said it's an international buffet. I'd like to hear all about that, please.
Yeah, this year we work with the chef from Haya, so they do design a very wonderful menu, to present all the different countries. Like we have the food from Asian, like Japanese food, Taiwanese food, Chinese food, and Korean food, of course. And also like from European, you can enjoy like Italian food, and also like from we have country presentation from Mexico. So also we will feature some Mexico food, and of course the Guam is the main culture, so American and Guam food as well. So it can be very nice, and also the dessert is really good.
Oh, that sounds incredible. So just to be sure, even though it's the Madam International Ball, men are absolutely free to attend as well.
Yes, yes.
And do we dress up as well in our cultural?
If you can,
normally.
Formal, yes.
Okay, very cool. Very nice.
You will be enjoyed.
Yes.
Okay. What else should people know about this wonderful event?
This is the last year's our event,
Okay.
and then
Let's go ahead and hold that up and we'll
yeah.
get a good shot of that.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and this is Louise Lippert.
Yeah, Louise Whipper was our Madam International last year, and then she was the chairwoman of our event.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which country is she representing?
She wasn't representing
Oh,
me,
okay.
but she was the Madam. She was selected as a Madam International.
Okay, I
last
see.
year.
I see.
But she was the
She's
chairwoman.
beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you see, we see different country of our dresses, and then these are all the participants of our event.
Yeah, some of them are very, very elaborate. They're gorgeous outfits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Japanese, Taiwanese, Indonesian, Thailand.
So it's an event where you basically get to show off your beauty, your personality as a woman, very cosmopolitan. You get to exhibit your own culture and be very proud of that. You get to
Yes.
interact and network with other people,
Yes.
and you get amazing food.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sold.
Hayadis.
And guys can attend.
Reserve your
Thank
seat.
you. And then the entertainments are very different countries, like 5 countries we're expecting. Opening will be Korea culture. The second will be Japanese, Japan. And the third will be Indian. And the fourth will be Palau. And the closing will be Korean culture again.
Outstanding.
So the
Also
entertainment
have the
Taiwanese
Taiwanese ladies.
then
They will do
dancers,
the
they will
two
do that.
dance. Very nice
Yes.
one. With
Okay.
the umbrella and the fans.
It is an event not to be missed, everybody. Ladies,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having us.
All right, thank
Thank you.
Stay tuned, everybody. We are back with more right after this.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant